Hello everyone, today we're going to be potting up some cucumbers, tomatoes, and chamomile, even though it feels like just yesterday they were little seeds. Let's get started with some cucumbers, and we're going to be putting them into hanging baskets, which this is my mom's trick. She always plants her cucumbers in a hanging basket, which planting them in hanging baskets not only gives them more airflow, but it makes it a lot easier to see your cucumbers that are ready to harvest, and it keeps them from getting all nasty on the ground. And you can see I separated my two seedlings. I like to do 2 per basket, and I try my best to make almost like a little mound, and I try to orient them in a way that will encourage them to each grow their own way. You know, one goes to the left and one goes to the right. And then I just repeat the process quite a few times, and now I have a bunch of cucumber hanging baskets. Look how cute these little guys are. And next up we have our tomatoes, which I have way too many of, but you know what? That's alright. Everybody likes tomatoes in my family, so everybody's going to be having a lot of tomatoes. And first things first, we're going to separate our little seedlings, and don't worry, these roots are quite a bit stronger than you think. And I like to plant my tomato seedlings pretty deep because tomatoes can grow roots from their stems, which makes them way stronger, and they're able to grab even more nutrients, which I believe gives them way more fruit. And who doesn't want a stronger plant? And it's pretty much just a rinse and repeat, and I did this for what felt like 1,000,000 tomato plants. And now it's time for the chamomile, which boy am I regretting how I did this. I should have separated them even more, but I never planted chamomile before. This is definitely a learning process. I did not expect them to take off as much as they did, but I'm going to try to get them in the ground as fast as possible. For now, this little medium-sized pot will do. And here they all are, all cute and potted up. And then before I knew it, it was a few days later, and look at everybody's looking lush and green. And I can already tell I should have put them way more separated and maybe even in a bigger pot. But you know what? You live and you learn. I'm just curious to see how long they'll be able to stay in those pots. And my cucumbers were looking cute, and then in a few days, boom, look at that. Look at all that new growth. Alright, you guys have a great day.